And we're back. You tuned in to Sport Federation TV. Remember, for this episode and all the other episodes we've had in the past, be sure to like our Facebook page, that's Sport Federation TV, where you can learn about all the sports that are available in the Western Cape and in South Africa at large. Now joining me from the world of powerlifting, we have Rowan Du Plessis and Magdalene Nicholson. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Right, so powerlifting. I'm sure a lot of times people would confuse it with the sport of weightlifting as well. Rowan, tell us what the difference is, or what exactly is powerlifting?
Well, powerlifting is actually you would call it a raw sport in its nature. Powerlifting would be focusing on your three major lifts, and that would be on your squat, your benching, and your deadlift. Weightlifting always refers to as your clean and jerk and your snatching. So what usually the people
So for somebody who doesn't speak English, how does that, how would you describe it, the essential differences?
In the essential difference, then you would always refer to weightlifting as a very compound movement, where powerlifting is a very straight movement and more about controlling the weight. So they're always more focused on your technique in your powerlifting than in weightlifting.
And he's kind of just saying powerlifting is better than weightlifting. That's the fine print in that comment. Magdalene, you are a powerlifter, an accomplished powerlifter. Of all the sports in the world, why powerlifting?
For me, when I started, I actually just started in the gym. And then one of my teammates introduced me to powerlifting, and then I just tried it and I loved it because it is very disciplined, what you put in your body, and then the supplements that you also use. Yes, and it's challenging, and you get to challenge the guys as well in the gym, and they don't like it always.
Yeah. So in a tournament for powerlifting, what are the different categories of competition that you have to do?
Okay, so you get your different weight categories, and then also your different age categories. So myself, I competed at the SA Championships recently in the under 63 weight category open, where I finished 10th, and then I also qualified for the World Championships.
And she says that like it's nothing. Oh, I just qualified for the World Championship. And you know, I'm looking at you now, and you know, you have these stereotypes in your mind about what bodybuilders and weightlifters and powerlifters must look like, and you look like a ballerina. So it's definitely a sport of technique, hey?
It is definitely, like, most of what you do is technique, and then also what you eat and your supplements that you take.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So none of that, so no fun for you then?
It's a lot of fun. Are you kidding me?
I'm only kidding. Rowan, you also, if we saw you in the mall or something, we're not going to go, hey, that guy must be a power lifter. How did you get involved in the sport?
It's actually funny. That's a very funny story. One of my mentors, she's one of them, and then one of the more senior mentors, he's been nagging me for extremely long. I think it was about 3 years now already. And I was always just being in the gym, but picking up weights, heavy weights specifically, was something that I always enjoyed. So I never took it as something as being as serious as a sport for me. And then I moved away, and when I came back about last year, September around, then he told me, Rowan, one Saturday I'm just going to come pick you up. And he did, and we ended up going to our first comp, and they introduced me to the sport, and it was very different, especially when it comes to the commands of just lifting the weight. So it's not like a usual person at the gym that just goes and lifts a weight in any form and then you get it up. So they are quite strict with it now, and then from there it basically escalated quite fast, because then from September, December came, and it was SA qualifiers, and I qualified for SAs, and then specifically referring to a weight category and age categories, then I took part in the junior 83 weight category. Yeah, and I became SA champ 7 months later.
All because your friend came to pick you up and say, come with me quickly. All good stories start like that, hey?
He was a guy, he was actually the guy in the gym who said he will never do powerlifting, and then he ended up being an SA champion. So
sure. Did you, I'm sure you're a very focused and disciplined person. I mean, the fact that you've managed to accomplish things that I'm sure people have been trying to accomplish for years, people that have been involved in the sport for years as well. What do you think gave you the edge to be able to achieve such greatness in such a short time?
You know, it's actually, I think I can actually say that Magdalene can back me on that. Discipline and dedication is something that I can definitely refer to myself as focusing on. And I told her that, I explained to her that my life is basically lived through the gym. So my life can never be standing still. My life always has to be focusing on improvement. So, and I lived through the gym in that aspect where it was my studies, the gym, lifting heavier, improving in every aspect in my life. So when I started powerlifting, it just became even worse. So then the weights just got heavier and heavier, and we do train to quite the extreme extent.
Yes.
And then the people who just stand there in the gym is like, the gym just starts standing still, and all the focus is on you, because they're not used to seeing such weights being lifted.
Sure. So the people are live streaming you on Facebook and
No,
stuff.
it's becoming, and your Facebook and Instagram is becoming one of the major platforms to expose yourself. So
And the sport, hey.
Yeah.
I also think what I can add is that helped us in our success in the sport is that the camaraderie that we have, and then we also train with different groups of people. Like we train with Colin Young, we go to Gordon's Bay to train with him. He's known as the bench master.
Yeah,
Yes. And then our mentor, Charles Johnson, he's also the
African
African
champ.
champ
He's the African
from
champ last year, and SA champ currently.
and then
also.
we have Genovan as well, competed with us, and in our team as well was Xavier Daniels. So we have a good team of people who help us and assist us, especially if we train in the gym and someone sees that your technique is a bit off, or they see you can go heavier but you don't have the confidence. That's where these guys step in. They give me that extra boost of confidence. So I think the support group is very, very important. Just
Takes
to have
a team
that,
to make a
yes,
champion.
it is a team to
Definitely.
yes, definitely. Because on the day as well, there's so many things that can go wrong, and then you just need that special person or that one person that's going to guide you and just keep your mind focused.
And now you said you qualified for the World Champs. Is it the first time that you've qualified for the World Champs?
It was my first SA Champs.
for both of
Yes,
us.
for both of us.
Wow.
We were first time lifters on the SA Champs. Yeah.
Sure. That's amazing. Where will the World Champs be?
The World Champs will be in Sweden, but it's self-funded and it works about 25k plus
Right.
per trip. So I don't think I will be making it.
Okay,
Yes.
unless there's a very generous sponsor out there that would like to send a Magdalene to Sweden for that World Champs in
Yes.
powerlifting. What with you? What is the next major event that is coming up?
Well, to be honest, there's very, I would say it's more focused on not the next big event, but every event that builds up to that as well. Because we usually focus on every event to basically build our power up even more. Because the gym is there, you get your whole gym, you're working hard in the gym, but you push yourself to another extent at competitions. But I would say my next big competition that I would be aiming for is the Arnold Classics. That's definitely something that we would call one of the biggest, definitely the biggest events in powerlifting as a whole.
Yeah.
And then with the World Champs would be there, but we as we said, Sweden's quite far, so. And then African Champs would be at the end of this year.
Now the Arnold Classic, well, this year Arnold Schwarzenegger will be there. He wasn't there last year due to health reasons.
Yes.
So I'm sure everybody in the bodybuilding, weightlifting, powerlifting world is looking forward to that.
Exactly, and that's basically what I would say emphasizes more on every single type of gymming sport, where all the different various sport codes in powerlifting, weightlifting, bodybuilding, whatever it might be, comes together and basically express lifting heavy weights and basically promoting your whole body as a whole.
Yeah, and the Arnold Classic is a mini Olympics, you know. Not only do you meet people from your own world, but from all the different sports, and to be a part of that energy, it's completely jacked. It's It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience. Well, guys, it was great chatting to you. How can
Likewise.
people get in touch if they'd like to sign up for powerlifting or join a club or something?
We're part of PPCC in Paul, but you can contact any one of us on Facebook. You can inbox us, Rowan Duplessis, Megan Nicholson, or you can DM me on Instagram, Little Speedy RSA.
And I would be at Rowan96.
Rowan 96,
Yes.
okay.
Or they can just follow VP Powerlifting
Yes,
on
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Ah,
Yes.
okay, lovely. All the best to you
Thank
both.
you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
I'll see you at Arnold Classic. Okay, guys, so there you have it. Two amazing athletes from the world of powerlifting. If there's any corporates out there that would love to support them as they go off to realize their dreams on the world stadiums, please get in touch with them through their Instagram or Facebook profiles. And that brings us to the end of tonight's show. We had a beautiful show with 4 amazing sports, great energies from all the athletes and administrators. Remember, whatever sport you're playing, you must enjoy it and lekker speel this weekend. And if you haven't found a sport that you love just yet, we hope this show helps you find a sport that's just perfect for you. Good night, till next time.